committed relationship? Looking for real advice on having love and enriching your relationship? You are in the right place. Welcome to The Couples Expert with Stuart Fensterheim.
Hello, and welcome to the Couples Expert Podcast. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and Happy Kwanzaa. Let's just get it all out right now. It is mid-December, and I just want to make sure that all of you know how much I appreciate every single one of you, and that I wish you all incredibly happy holidays, and that the holidays this year maybe can be special for every single one of you. What I would like is that this year, you and your partner really have a holiday season that's filled with love, togetherness, connection, and that the most important part of the holiday is not the gift giving, but it's the spirit of Christmas, the wonder of Hanukkah, in which every single person in your life and every single person whose path you cross really have a sense of how special they are to you, and that the connection you two feel to one another is translated in every single thing you do. And today's podcast episode is titled Becoming the Diplomat of Authenticity in Attachmentland. And what I would like to do is take you all on a journey with me. This is a magic carpet ride journey into a land of wonder, of excitement, and most importantly, of attachment. So if you're not driving your car listening to this, I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and here we go. Wow, that was quite a trip. And we've now just arrived in this really wondrous, strange land. There's a mixture for me of excitement, adventure, and quite frankly, a lot of nerves. The nerves are I'm going to be meeting these strange people, someone that I've not met before. And part of what it's going to be is me trying to really learn about them and have them see me and what will they think of me. I'm anxious and scared about being at a place where my expectation right now is to be authentic, real, and hope that the people that I see are going to accept me for who I am. It's an incredibly vulnerable sensation, but one in which, if this works, it is the most exhilarating place that you ever want to be there. But let's talk a little bit about why in our home country, where we come from, this doesn't happen. Why do we wear these masks? What are we trying to accomplish by really understanding that the people that we interact with, the emotions that we feel in the relationships in our lives, whether they're relationships having to do with siblings, whether they're relationships with our parents, whether they're relationships with our lovers, we seem to feel like we need to put on these masks that portray an image that sometimes feels like a burden. And so often what also happens is that we don't even remember which mask we wear when, with who, and it's exhausting. It reminds me of an interaction that I recently had with my wife, actually. We were on a walk with our dog, and she turned to me and said, you've been snapping at me quite a bit. And I was trying to get her to really understand that the work that I do at times can be incredibly emotionally draining. I am working day in and day out with people who share their worst pains. And when I get home, sometimes I don't do a great job at just turning it off. But when she brought this up to me, one of the things that I did is I disregarded what she was saying. I said, no, I'm not doing that. Now, there was a little voice in my head that said, she caught me. She recognized that I wasn't doing a good enough job of being the kind of partner that I want to be. Now, you notice what I said, not the partner that she wants me to be, but the partner I want to be. The partner that comes home after a day of work, whether it's with clients who are sharing their worst pain, but that when I walk in the door, what she gets is the best of me. What she gets is the person that loves her, cares about her, and puts everything aside but our life together. But here's the dark reality. The dark reality is I sometimes can't do that well. I sometimes need to recognize that when I go home at night and we have dinner and I sit down in front of the television and it's 8 o'clock at night, and as soon as I hit the pillow, I'm done. I am asleep. I fall asleep watching TV and she's left alone. That's not fair. That's not the person and the partner that I want to be. But sometimes what I do is I give so much to my practice, to my business, to my marketing, to the services that I offer the clients that come to see me, there isn't a lot left for her. And the dedication that I have to have is to acknowledge for her that her experience may be the more authentic one. That the facade that sometimes that I put on that says, I've got it all covered, is not real. It's my mask. It's me being an actor in the play of life and not wanting to get caught. And when I get caught, what I have to be able to be is authentic and real and say, you know, you're right. You're right. That is something I'm doing. I am letting myself burn out and you get the leftovers. Who wants to feel in a relationship that what they have is their partner's leftovers? We need each one of us to feel like we're with that one person that leaves the most important energy, the most important emotions for the two of you. But sometimes this world does have a harshness that just invades our space and we don't have much left. And if when we're having a conversation with our partner, with our lover, with our wife, with our boyfriend, we don't acknowledge the experience that they see in us because we feel like we're getting caught, because we can't do it all, whether you're the mother, the father, the brother, whoever you are, you can't do it all. And sometimes you're just done. If that experience that they have with you is the truth, you have to be willing to be that authentic person that says, oh my God, I'm screwing up. Oh my God, that's the last thing I want you to see. That's the last thing I want this marriage, this relationship to be like, and I need to do something about it. So my wife and I, as we're having this talk, and I'm being that defensive, inauthentic person, and recognize right then and there how much of a hypocrite I was being, because I come to my office every day and I tell clients, this is what you need to do. You need to just grin it, take a risk, feel the fear and do it anyway, and just tell your partner, you're right. I haven't done a good job. So I took a deep breath, and that's what I did. And luckily, my wife and I, who have worked a great deal at this, she turned to me and said, that's okay. We'll figure it out together. We'll find a way for you to not to be so burnt out. And she had some suggestions for me, and I talked about those with her. And we came up with a plan as a couple. And what happened at that moment is we opened the door to Attachmentland. The land of plenty. The land in which each one of you can enter every day of your relationship, in which you put the walls down, you turn the masks over, you take them off, never needing to do it again, and you live a life of plenty. Today's podcast is sponsored by Stuart's Daily Notes. I want to tell you about a service I offer for my subscribers. It's called Stuart's Daily Notes. If you could do one small thing every day to be a better person and partner, a small change that will make your relationship more loving, secure, and connected, would you do it? Why wouldn't you? My purpose in creating Stuart's Daily Notes is to give you short clips, tips, and advice in your email inbox every weekday that will do just that, all for $9.99 a month. 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year. You can do something positive and meaningful to make your relationship stronger and more fulfilling. Subscribe to Stuart's Daily Notes and start making that transformation in yourself, your life, and your marriage today. So as we land into this land of Attachmentland, the colors are brighter, the fun is funnier, the enjoyments are more enjoyable, and you feel like you have a pistol in your pocket, and every day of your life in this land is filled with a wonder. And it's like an experience that I remember having when I first got my glasses. You know, you live for a while there without glasses on and you think things are dull. You put on the glasses and you go, wow, this is wonderful. I can see clearer, the colors are better, and life is just easier to live. You being able to let go of having a relationship in which you have to act a certain way, be a certain way, do a certain thing because of expectations that you feel your partner has of you, you're able to let some of that go. And you stop wondering whether or not you need to live up to a certain expectation. When we think about a relationship and you think about what are the expectations that each one of us have in our partners, what I hope the two of you develop in this land of attachment is an expectation to just be yourself, to be able to have a relationship in which your partner can see the good, the bad, and the ugly in you. And more importantly, this facade that we all wear, the mask we put on, is because we don't think our partners will like the person that we are down deep. And some of you who are involved with couples counseling or have seen TED Talks with Brene Brown, who I love very much, And one of the things she says is you don't have a right to comment about another person's life unless you're on the stage with them, that you're taking the same risks that they are, that you're opening yourself up to vulnerability. Then you have a right to maybe make a comment. But so many of us listen to the naysayers, listen to the people who aren't walking the walk, they're just talking the talk. And they aren't the people that you should respect or hang out with. You should be getting on that stage of life with your partner and both of you working as a formidable team, having the audacity to say, the buck stops here, and no longer will I pretend to be anything other than who I am, and believe from the bottom of your heart that who you are is who your partner fell in love with. The challenge for some of you is sometimes you don't know what's real. Sometimes you don't even know who you are. Sometimes the person that you have shown to the world from the time you were a baby, from the time you started school, you pretended to be something. You didn't recognize that who you are down deep was beautiful. And that when we talk about being authentic, when we talk about living our life, the difference between survival and living is whether or not you take every moment of your life and you're just real and you're aware and you make choices that are about being purely who you are, accepting each other for who you are, and loving every minute of it. But what is this going to take to be in this attachment land in which vulnerability and authenticity are the best qualities that you have? Is a willingness to, number one, sometimes it means you're going to have to make some waves in the relationships in your life. It's going to mean that the importance is going to be to dig down deep and to start asking yourself some very hard questions. And one of the questions is, do I really know what I like about myself? What are the strengths I have? And what are the needs that I have been masking, that I have to begin to have relationships that talk about what does it take for me to feel loved by another human being? And sometimes what ends up happening, and I had this just happen recently in my office, I have a couple that I've been seeing for a while, and one of the realizations that have come up is that this couple has not really allowed themselves to accept the needs that they have, and that they've lived a relationship for years and years and years and never really understood what each of their needs were, and that it was absolutely essential in a relationship to share your emotional needs, the need for attachment, the need for contact, the need for stability and security, the need to let your partners know you have to show up for me every day. And if you don't show up for me, I miss you. And I want to know if you don't show up what I'm doing, and I want to know what you're doing to make that right. To really be able to talk about the needs each of you have in your relationship, in this world of attachment, where every single day we're going to do this without excuse, without being too busy or saying I'm too busy, because it's a cop-out. And every single person who has these excuses know they're copping out and know what they're doing is defending themselves because they don't want to look down deep on what are they doing to really have that relationship not be a loving, caring, connected one. And that each one of us needs to take that responsibility and ownership of our part in this. and that we stop surviving and we begin every single day living. But how do you do that if you don't have the knowledge or you aren't that aware? You go and you start doing the work. You read everything you can get your hands on that talks about relationships and attachments. You listen to audio tapes. You watch videos. You subscribe to email lists. You do everything that you need to do in order to really get the information and allow yourself to do the internal work that is necessary, to ask yourself, what am I doing right? And what am I doing that's getting in the way? And you turn to your partner and you involve them in the process. You take that risk, you become an open book. Everything that's going on for you at work, at home, in your quiet times, the things that you read that go, wow, this relates to us. You bring your partner into it. You share it. This is a connection that is not about distant. This is attachment land, that place where you're never alone. Attachment land is that place where if you're missing affection and you're missing an active sex life, your partner knows about it. In this world of attachment, when someone brings up an issue, both of you come at this working as a couple, as problem solvers that allow both of you to understand that having each other in your life is a godsend, and that our faith and our spirituality is part of our relationship in attachment land. And that you begin to do things, you make lists, you write them down, you share your hopes, you share your dreams, you share the idea that together you're going to have a bucket list, and that bucket list includes having someone in your life that's your best friend, your best ally, and your best mentor. And that you recognize that couples counseling is not necessary when you have two people who love each other in this attachment land. In attachment land, there are very few people that are involved in couples counseling. And do you know why? Because your best couples counselor is your partner. That your partner who knows you deeply and vulnerably and securely, and the relationship is strong, you have a bond with someone in your life that there's no couple counselor out there that will care more for you than they will. And that you trust their assessment. You trust their judgment of you because they have been sharing vulnerably and you have. So that when you have a challenge in the relationship, there may be hard feelings, but there's never a question of whether you should be together or not. There's never a question that your partner loves you in spite of what just happened between you. There's never a question that they don't like your pain about the disconnect. That the two of you in attachment land, in vulnerability, and as the diplomat for this land, you're going to learn all about this, and you're then going to come back with me, back to the land of humdrum, back to the land of stress, back to the land of work, where you're going to bring with you this new foundation. And anytime when we get back there, we need it. All we have to do is turn to our partners, hand them a ticket, get on the magic carpet, and get back to attachment land. That's what marriage is. A marriage that's working will allow the two of you to close your eyes at any point that either one of you needs to. Turn to your partner and say, we need to go back to Attachmentland. And you leave the stress behind, and you begin to remind each other about the wonder of Attachmentland. You remind each other that the genuine you is that person of love, that person of authenticity, the person that the two of you create together to have that relationship that is not just good enough, but exceptional. I mentioned earlier that there is a relaxation that occurs from being authentic, because being authentic can really be defined as congruent living, living in the moment with a sincere life. Your thoughts, your values, your emotions, and your actions all are consistent with that. So what I thought we could end with today was just my giving all of you a perspective of what are the qualities of authentic people. And what I'd like you to do is think about this in terms of yourself, not your partner. And ask yourself, are these areas that exist for me right now? And if they are, pat yourself on the back. If they're not, make a mental note that this is something that you're going to work on. And I think the first one is, are you self-reflective? Do you think about the things that you do even after an interaction with your partner may occur? Or when you're interacting with people in your life, do you ask yourself, am I compassionate? Am I kind? Am I considerate? Am I the kind of person that I would love to have as a friend? If the answer is yes, that's wonderful. If the answer is no, you have some work to do. Are you accepting of yourself and other people? Do you use humor in non-hostile ways, or do you make fun of others? Are you able to express your emotions freely and clearly? Is there an openness to you that you're just transparent? You're able to let your partners see the real you, and there's a consistency of your words and actions. Do you make commitments that you live up to? Are these things that you do in an authentic way, or do you let people down? An example is my wife and I, we foster dogs. Sometimes we'll say, we'll take a dog. Do you at the last minute, when you have an organization like a foster organization who expect you to do that, say at the last minute, sorry, I'm too busy. I can't do it. Do you live up to your promises? These are the qualities of authentic people. There's an ability, if you're authentic, to truly be a team player. And most importantly, and this goes to the concept of mindfulness, do you live in the moment? Do you hold on to regrets? And do you hold on to things that your partner may have done that let you down? And do you not let them live it down? Do you forgive easily because you recognize that authentically, we all make mistakes. We all do things. What else? In the qualities of really authentic people, there is a sense of love and giving that we give to others. And we treat people with truly kindness and respect. There is a saying, quote that I love from Oscar Wilde that says, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Are you coming to all situations in a consistent way, being yourself, living in the moment, and having your best quality be someone that wants to hear from others, and people would define you as a great, great listener, a great partner, and someone that they would say is someone that is just real, and that they are giving And they also are someone, and this is what I think each one of us want. We want to be that person in our partner's life that they see as our best ally, our best confidant, and someone that wouldn't hurt a fly. And that your passion is to have a life with your partner that is truly loving and giving. So now, I want all of you to close your eyes one more time. And we've just gone on this journey to Attachmentland. And bring it back with you. Share it with your partners. Share it with your friends. Share it with your families. And have a commitment that there's nobody else more important than you are. Not from a selfish perspective, but from a perspective that you could wake up every day, and when you get ready in the morning and you look in the mirror, that reflection is someone that you're proud to say is you, and that you are the most authentic, caring person that you've ever met. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Stay connected. And we'll see you soon on the Couples Expert Podcast. Bye-bye now.
Thank you for listening. This episode has ended, but your journey continues. Head over to www.thecouplesexperts.com to access all the links and resources mentioned in this episode, as well as bonus content exclusive to podcast listeners. Enjoyed this episode? Why not hit subscribe now and never miss an episode?